but the power and precision of Lyle's punches were too much. Eventually, Shavers could take no more, and his body went limp, falling face first to the canvas. The 1970s, a time when boxing legends were born and epic battles were fought. Amidst the roar of the crowds and the flash of the cameras, two names stood out, demanding attention: Ron Lyle and Earnie Shavers. In an era dominated by titans like Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, Lyle and Shavers carved their own path, delivering bouts that had fans on the edge of their seats. Their fierce rivalry and unparalleled skill in the ring became the stuff of legends. As the world watched, they clashed in a showdown that would define an era. This is their story, a tale of power, determination, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Prepare to be captivated. The Lyle-Shavers bout wasn't just another fight. It was an epical clash that captured the imagination of the entire sporting world. To give a sense of its magnitude, imagine a big-time playoff game, but for boxing. Stadiums packed to the brim, millions tuning in from their homes, celebrities lining the front rows, and the buzz of anticipation palpable in the air. Newspapers and magazines had this match on their front pages. Analysts debated the potential outcomes, and fans eagerly placed their bets. This was more than just a contest of strength and skill. It was a cultural phenomenon, a moment in time where the world paused to watch two of the hardest punching guys in boxing history collide. Ron Lyle, born on February 12, 1941 in Dayton, Ohio, was a force to be reckoned with in the boxing world. Raised in Denver, Colorado, Lyle's early life was anything but easy. He faced numerous challenges, including a tumultuous upbringing that led him to serve 7.5 years in prison for second-degree murder. It was during this challenging period behind bars that Lyle found solace and purpose in boxing. The prison's boxing program became his refuge, and it was there that he honed his skills and discovered his innate talent for the sport. Upon his release in 1969, Lyle pursued a professional boxing career with fervor. His powerful punches and relentless drive quickly made him a formidable contender in the heavyweight division. Throughout the 1970s, Lyle established himself as one of the top heavyweights in the world. He faced off against some of the era's most renowned fighters, including the likes of Jerry Quarry, Oscar Bonavena, and Jimmy Ellis. His impressive record boasted 43 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw, with 31 of those victories coming by way of knockout. One of Lyle's most notable achievements came in 1975 when he engaged in a legendary bout with George Foreman. The fight, often referred to as one of the greatest heavyweight battles of all time, saw both fighters knocked down multiple times. Although Lyle ultimately lost in the 5th round, his performance against Foreman solidified his reputation as a top-tier heavyweight. Leading up to his fight against Earnie Shavers in 1975, Lyle had already built an impressive resume. His resilience, both in and out of the ring, combined with his powerful punches, made him a fan favorite. The bout against Shavers was highly anticipated, with many expecting a fierce showdown between two of the division's hardest hitters. 1,500 miles away in the quiet town of Garland, Alabama, a boxing legend was born. Earnie Shavers, often referred to by his menacing moniker, the Black Destroyer, would grow up to be one of the most feared and respected figures in the heavyweight division of professional boxing. His journey from a small-town boy to a global boxing sensation is nothing short of remarkable. Shavers' reputation in the boxing world was built on the foundation of his unparalleled punching power.
Nobody can hit like Earnie Shavers. He had a crunch punch, and it was real, like a welterweight. He'd come back.
Many of his contemporaries and boxing analysts believed that he possessed the hardest punches in the history of the heavyweight division. This belief wasn't unfounded. Over the course of his career, Shavers achieved an impressive knockout-to-win ratio, with 68 of his 74 victories coming by way of knockout. Before his iconic bouts with the likes of Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali, Shavers had already made a name for himself in the boxing circuit. He turned professional in 1969 and quickly began to climb the ranks. By the mid-1970s, he had established himself as a top contender in the heavyweight division. His relentless power and aggressive fighting style made him a fan favorite and a nightmare for his opponents. As his career progressed, Shavers faced off against some of the biggest names in boxing. While he had his share of losses, His performances were always memorable, often due to the sheer force of his punches. Even in his bouts against legends like Muhammad Ali, Shavers left an indelible mark. Ali once famously remarked after their 1977 fight that Shavers hit him so hard it felt like he was hit with a baseball bat. As the trajectories of Ron Lyle and Earnie Shavers intersected, the boxing world braced itself for a collision of epic proportions. The anticipation surrounding their bout wasn't just a product of their individual reputations, but also the broader implications the fight held for both fighters and the heavyweight division as a whole. Ron Lyle, the Denver Dynamo, had risen from the depths of adversity to become one of the most formidable contenders in the heavyweight landscape. His journey from the confines of a prison cell to the boxing ring had already captured the imagination of many. With each fight, Lyle wasn't just battling his opponent. He was challenging his past, rewriting his narrative, and solidifying his place among boxing's elite.
In prison, you can't move around. You isolated, you know what I'm saying? But the dreams are still the same. The ambitions are still the same. The struggle's still the same. You know what I'm saying?
A victory against Shavers would not only further his claim for a title shot, but also serve as a testament to his indomitable spirit and resilience. On the other hand, Earnie Shavers, known as the Black Destroyer, had already sent shockwaves through the boxing community with his unparalleled punching power. Hailing from Garland, Alabama, Shavers had carved a niche for himself as one of the most feared punchers in the division. His reputation was built on a trail of knocked-out opponents, and a win against Lyle would further solidify his status as a top-tier heavyweight. More than personal glory for Shavers, this fight was about staking his claim for a title opportunity and proving that he wasn't just a hard puncher, but a complete boxer. The heavyweight division during this period was in a state of flux. With legends like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier beginning to fade, the division was hungry for fresh faces and new rivalries. A bout between Lyle and Shavers promised to shape the future landscape of heavyweight boxing. The winner would not only elevate his status but also position himself for bigger paydays and potential title shots. September 13th, 1975. After waiting in anticipation, the boxing world was finally treated to a spectacle that would be remembered for generations. From the opening bell, it was evident that this was not just another fight. Lyle, known for his aggressive style and powerful punches, took the center of the ring, establishing dominance early on. His stance was wide, allowing him to generate maximum power from his legs, and he utilized a classic orthodox stance, which gave him a solid base to launch his heavy shots. Shavers, on the other hand, was renowned for his incredible knockout power, having dispatched many opponents with a single punch. He adopted a more fluid style, moving around the ring with grace, waiting for the perfect opportunity to unleash his devastating right hand. The early rounds were a masterclass in boxing strategy. Lyle, with his sharp jabs and hooks, tried to penetrate Shavers' defenses, while Shavers retaliated with his signature power punches. In a shocking turn of events during the second round, Shavers landed a powerful right hand that sent Lyle crashing to the canvas. The audience gasped, their anticipation reaching a fever pitch as they waited to see if Lyle could recover. Though momentarily stunned, Lyle managed to beat the count, demonstrating his resilience. Each subsequent punch thrown was met with heightened anticipation from the audience, all waiting for another decisive blow. The punches were thick and fast leading into the third round. Midway through the third, Shavers had Lyle on the ropes, and it seemed as though Lyle was in trouble. Shavers was relentless as both warriors were fighting in the phone booth. Shavers, with momentum on his side, began throwing bombs, powerful punches looking to brutally knock out Lyle. However, as the round progressed, Lyle showcased his resilience and fighting spirit. Despite being on the ropes and seemingly at a disadvantage, Lyle began to mount a comeback. He started throwing heavy bombs of his own, demonstrating his punching power and determination not to be outdone. One of the most notable aspects of Lyle's counterattack was his use of uppercuts. From the ropes, he unleashed a series of uppercuts that landed on Shavers, turning the tide of the round. The crowd began to play a significant role in amplifying the drama of the round. As Lyle began to land his punches, the audience was firmly in his corner. Every shot Lyle landed, the crowd erupted in cheers, adding to the electric atmosphere of the bout. As they moved into the middle rounds, the intensity escalated. In the fifth round, Lyle landed a staggering uppercut that resonated throughout the arena. But Shavers, demonstrating his legendary resilience, absorbed the impact and came back with a barrage of hooks, forcing Lyle to regroup. However, as the fight progressed into the later rounds, Shavers began to show signs of fatigue, slowing down noticeably. Then, in a turn of events, the unthinkable happened. As the sixth round began, Lyle unleashed his power. He threw a heavy right hand that connected flush on Shavers, causing him to stumble back into the ropes. Though Shavers tried to maintain his balance, the onslaught from Lyle was unyielding. Lyle continued his assault with a barrage of big uppercuts and ferocious right hands. Shavers, showing the heart of a warrior, tried to withstand the storm, but the power and precision of Lyle's punches were too much. Eventually, Shavers could take no more, and his body went limp, falling face first to the canvas. The intense battle finally with fans and fellow boxers alike, serving as a beacon of inspiration for many.